Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Smarterfan.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we're bringing you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. How you doing, Barry?
There used to be a skit on In Living Color, and they used to go, more money, more money, more money,
Yep.
more money. That's all that's going on, Joe. This
Yep.
sports thing is out of control.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Folk out here cashing checks, my brother.
Yes, they are.
How
Yes,
you
they
doing?
are.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Good, good. I hope you get some of them checks too.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
So what you got going on tonight? What we talking about tonight?
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to our friends in Germany
I sprechen Sie Deutsch.
and our friends in the Far East in Japan.
I think it's Komnimaska.
We thank you for listening, folks. We really appreciate it.
We really appreciate that. All the way into the Far East, all the way over there. I love it. I love the international flavor.
Yep. So tonight I'm going to put the spotlight on Tyler Adams. Okay, because he's a local guy. He grew up in Dutchess County. He was born in Dutchess County. He grew up in Wappingers Falls, which is right up the road from me. And so for most of his early years, his mother raised him on her own. And she drove him. He had his success. He basically credits his success to his mother and her devotion.
Sure.
Because she was the one who drove him to the New York Red Bulls Academy practices every day. She drove him 75 miles since he was 12.
Wow.
Until he was old enough to drive himself.
Wow.
Now, his profession took him to, he was the first player to graduate from the Red Bulls Regional Development School, and he went to the first team from there.
Wow.
That eventually led him to a career in the English Premier League with Leeds United and AFC Bournemouth.
Oh, wow.
So he made history as being the youngest captain for the U.S. men's national team in the 22 World Cup at Qatar. So, and they say he was the youngest American World Cup captain since 1950.
Wow.
And he was honored in 22 as the U.S. Soccer Male Player of the Year.
The boy's doing work.
He has a high motor, and he was all over the field. He's got his tactical intelligence is off the chain, and he was a pivotal midfielder despite battling. He had some injuries. He had back surgery, had MCL issues. But now in November of 25, he became the first North American to win the Premier League Goal of the Month award.
Oh, wow.
So,
Well, out there playing.
and that's what got him on this year's World Cup team.
Oh, he's playing for the U.S.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
He was number 4.
Oh, wow.
So now he played every minute of the tournament, and he was like the anchor of their defense. And he played all 90 minutes of the game against Bosnia, and he was the steady presence in the midfield.
That's tough.
And he was instrumental in building the attack and setting up the first goal by Balogun. And despite Balogun getting a red card, he kept the team together. Now, unfortunately, he only played 72 minutes in the 4-1 loss to Belgium, but get into that later. But it was just he's just a dynamic player. He really is. So.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
The local kid did good.
The local kid did good. It ain't too far from us. We need to get Mama on the show.
Right? So, now, the $1 billion illusion.
Man, Joe, listen, let me tell you something. The more I keep digging into this, sports thing. We are literally at the crossroads of sports monetization at a whole other level. We think we come from a time when Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7 were sports channels, where we grew up on a wide world of sports.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Joe, that's like putting diapers on a full-grown man. The $1 billion, the money has gotten so large because of the technology, and that's why I named it that the $1 billion illusion. And why winning doesn't mean owners need more money, because win or lose, they're making so much money because of what they're able to do with the eyeballs.
Exactly.
So if you're able to secure the eyeballs, they're getting premium money for the eyeballs.
Jerry Jones is a great example of that.
Jerry is the new Las Vegas. So people said, well, someone was asking, well, what does that mean? I said, do you understand when the NFL begins its season that every owner gets $300 million deposit? Not one kickoff, not one run, not one pass. That's how large the money is. They were like, what? I said, all that belly aching you heard about Cleveland paying Watson all that money, that he's already recruit that plus in 2 years outside of the TV money, just what he made on Shador.
Right.
And all the attention that was getting, because he's getting paid according to the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. That owner is getting a piece. All the owners are getting a piece of that attention, that action, that the talking, the news cycle every time. And so that's why Shador negotiated prime equity. That everything he do, he need to get a piece of that, because he understood, and his father understood. Hey, this is the TV game. They're going to leverage your image for eternity, grow their wealth for eternity. You need to get a piece of that. You need to get some equity out of that. And so it's really an illusion. Any of the numbers that you hear them broadcast whenever, 10x, 20x, 50x it. That's the money you're not seeing that they're getting. They got, Joe, they got some stuff. I'll just say this one thing, Joe. They got a clause in some of these contracts that, I'll use this. You remember when OG tapped in that basket? They probably made more money off of that than the whole series.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You think about how many times that was seen, how many times that was talked about, how many times that were broadcast, not in the U.S., Joe, all over the world.
Yep.
And if he didn't negotiate that in his contract, he gets none of it. You see the new game?
Yep.
You see? Yep. So as I always told people, when NIL came out and they said, oh, NIL, well, athletes shouldn't be paid. I said, how long owners have been leveraging NIL? They said, no, what do you mean? I said, since 1960. Since TV became big in sports, particularly football, that's what blew the game up. It's the broadcasting. It means you can only fit so many people in a stadium. With broadcasting rights, it's unlimited. Why do you think Super Bowl commercials are so crazy for 1 minute?
Oh,
because you get all of those eyeballs. I didn't think about that. Well, you may want to think about that.
That's the premier time for commercials.
Prime time. But see, because of the way things are moving, sports is almost becoming a Super Bowl event. I think that's one of the things that, even with the World Cup being here, I don't think that's by mistake. I think that's by plan. And simply to say, it was a test. It's a test. Can we generate that action globally on broadcasting? Because you see what's happening to these stadiums. People are sold out. People have lost their minds. I mean, the U.S. is looking a lot like Europe reacts to soccer. And you think about it, somebody said on a newscast, I don't even know why people are surprised all these stadiums are filling out. Well, who you think is in America? Argentinians, Colombians, African, all the people you see on the World Cup stage, they're here in America.
Yep.
They're here. So people are like, oh my God, they're not all of them flew in. Some of them drove in.
Yep.
So this is the $1 billion illusion. Billions of dollars is what they're telling you they make. It's what they're not telling you they're making. So I just pray these athletes are getting their piece.
Well, speaking of the World Cup, this is going to be
I know
talked
you got
about.
something.
This is going to be talked about for a long time. What Balogun got the red card, and he was suspended, and he wasn't supposed to play against Belgium, and then that magically got suspended. The red card got suspended and lifted, so he was able to play against Belgium, and it's just the penalty was they say he committed a foul, like a flagrant foul, but the VAR wasn't supposed to view it in slow motion to make that determination. So they were saying the determination was incorrect. So, but and Belgium tried to appeal the ruling, but they just got swatted down. They didn't even get a chance to appeal it.
Too much money.
So, but now Cape Verde.
Cape Verde?
I just want to give a shout out to them because they gave it all they had. They went up against a behemoth and they held their ground. They hung right with them. The score kept going back and forth, and then it was tied in extra time. And then unfortunately, a header off of Christian Ramiro deflected off of Dede Borges and went into their own goal, and that's how they lost.
Yeah.
So
literally, there's more people in Boston than Cape Verde. Cape Verde only got 500,000 people. Now, see, it's that exposure. If those athletes don't have a way to leverage that, because you better believe Cape Verde tourism is going up, everything going up. Right? Team value going up, everybody going up, right? So. Now, the question that athletes have to ask themselves, how do I leverage this for the next years of my life? Whether it is I run a camp, merchandise, sponsorship deals, all these things, right? Because their goalie, let me just put it this way. He went from 50,000 followers to something like 2.5 million followers. And if he doesn't know what to do, he won't be able to monetize it because he's not going to play forever. This may be his shining moment. But I bet you the team know how to I bet you everybody else know how to monetize it.
And that goalie, he's no spring chicken either.
No, he's been around. But I got to give him big ups. 40 years old. I think his top salary is around 50 to 57,000. You know what I'm saying? But this moment right here, properly handled, could have him paid for the rest of his life and his next generation in 2 or 3. But the thing is, are they aware? Do they know?
That's the question.
How do I make this moment last forever? Because it can end anytime. Injury, whatever.
Oh, you're always an injury away.
Only an injury away. So in this moment, it's got to be more than a photo op and all that other stuff. It's got to be that. But it's also got to be how to get the checks in. Else you're just going to go down. Well, when I was, you'd be 70 years old, 70 years old. When I was, this is what we did. Ain't got nothing to show for it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that.
But the team is still hyping it up. The ownership, the FIFA's still hyping it up. See what I'm saying?
So, getting back to the U.S.,
they
had too many defensive lapses in that game.
You're going to lose with defense, bro.
And on that third goal, I don't know what Freeze was thinking. when he was holding on to the ball, he was surrounded by Belgian players, and then he tries to clear it out, and he commits a turnover, and that's an easy goal for them.
Everybody was talking like they was going to walk over Belgium. I was like, do you think Belgium got there by mistake?
Well,
Do you think Belgium? It was very curious to me, and I just didn't have a good feeling. I think they should have kept the ruling. I think they should have kept it. I think that ruins sport, because even if they would have won, let's just say the U.S. went on to win the World Cup, that would be a stain.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And I think, this is my opinion, I think because they were overruled, that fired them up because they came out swinging.
Belgium didn't come out playing. Belgium was like, they didn't hear the memo. They didn't get the memo. They didn't get the memo. They was like, oh, you think? And I was like, after probably the first half, I was like, no, US ain't ready for this. This is a different level. Europe plays at a different level.
They came out and they punched them in the mouth. Right in the
mouth. Right in the mouth. I was like, is that Argentina out there or Belgium?
So,
and you begin to really see it as you move higher up, why certain people are elite and why certain people are not.
Yep.
It's like, there's levels to this game. There's levels to it.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's the more closer it gets to the finals, the more intense it's going to be.
You really begin to see the skill level and the mindset. People were asking me today about when I was watching the Argentinian game, and I got there late, and I said, Argentina's up? Who are they playing? Egypt is up? And they were talking about, oh, the clock is winding down, the clock is winding down. And I was like, wow, Egypt got Argentina? That's soon. Let me sit down. Come to realize, it was only the first half. They're getting ready to go in the second half.
Uh-huh.
It was like, oh, hell no. This game ain't over. But they could come out and beat in the second half. It's a whole new game now.
That's right. That's right.
It's a whole new game. And I said, I keep trying to tell people, Joe, when you're a champion, you're different. Even when it get tight, it's different because you can go to a place that if your opponent hasn't been there, that they can't go to. Because I was watching the game and I was just like, if Egypt's goalie wasn't all world, they could have beat them, but they had no problem getting in the box. They had no problem shooting on the goal. He was just an incredible. And I said, I don't know what Egypt's coach is telling them, but he's like, y'all better start playing some defense. He's not going to be able to keep bailing us out.
Right.
They had no problem getting in the box. I was like, y'all going to lose because they're going to smell. They get a taste. They're going to smell blood.
Yep.
And it's going to be over.
Yep.
Over. Y'all around here, Egypt running around here like the game over. I was like, nigga, you need that energy to play defense. Do you understand who you're playing? When they was down and they were looking at each other like, all right, be calm. We all a little off right now. Be calm. And they came out and the rest is history.
Yep. That's for sure.
They really could have lost probably 8-2. They had no problem getting in the box.
That's why they're the defending champs.
Exactly. Because once they see what it is about champions, starts to smell it and start to feel it,
yeah,
they're like, they can go a place you can't. And that's the only way you knock off the champion. You got to knock him out. It's not a trade. No, you got to knock him out.
That's right.
Then Messi showed up. I keep trying to tell these guys like Messi and whatnot, do not let there be a fourth quarter because they'll have a flashback and become their 22-year-old self, and it ain't nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
Not a thing.
Now, on a bittersweet note, this was the last World Cup for Ronaldo.
Oh, he made a formal announcement?
This is it for him. He's made 27 World Cup appearances,
That's crazy.
and he's second only to Messi, who has 30.
That's crazy.
Uh,
How good you have to be to do that?
I tip my hat to him. The man put in the work. He didn't come up with the trophy, but he was there.
He can't do it by himself.
So
No, he can't do it by himself. But
the hidden economy of an NBA championship.
the hidden economy is pretty much there is. Let me give you a prime example. Dolan came in on the Knicks about $450 million personal wealth. That easily 10x.
Yeah.
The value of the MSG that he owns, they ain't been paying taxes since 1982, the record says. So that's about $1 billion. That must be nice. And in 1 year, in one season, winning the championship, their valuation started the season about $7.4 billion. After, over $8 billion.
Oh, easy.
Now, I ain't talk about, Joe, the merchandise, TV rights, concessions, parking, broadcast rights, sponsorship, all the branding, all the advertising that the owners get. The only split that the CBA got is off the TV revenue, which they keep out there on purpose, like that's everything. But there's no equity. There's no equity for the players. So they keep hyping up, oh, this guy's making all this money and this, but the owner is, ooh, Joe, ooh,
raking it in.
Ooh, I don't even really know we can say raking. I think they're backing up the truck. And I'm not necessarily mad about it. What I'm mad about, Joe, is that the players are not getting their fair share.
Well, that's
happening. The owners create things like the second apron. Well, the second apron, watch how crazy this language is. The second apron will prevent us from this, that, and the other. And no, you instituted the second apron. You want to cap the players while you don't have a cap. So where is the economic stress on you? There isn't any. Think about what I just said. The Knicks haven't paid taxes since 1982, Joe. So why all these caps on the players? Why all this limitation on players? When you're making more money, you don't tell the TV people, hey, last year you paid us an exorbitant amount of money. This year we want you to pay us less. They're not saying that to nobody.
Not happening. Nope.
So why this? I call it an imaginary cap. Because TV, they used to use the argument, well, I'm in a small market. I'm this, I'm that. I don't get, not with the digital. You're global now. So what's your excuse now? What's your excuse now? There isn't any.
Nope.
So that's the illusion. That's the deception. They hear an athlete tell people all the time. I said, just think for yourself. If they can pay one person $60 million on a 5-year contract, and he's one of 15 guys on a football team, one of 53, how much money must the owner be making if he can pay one guy $60 million a year? It's just simple math.
Yeah. So.
We grew up in a time where there was that pride about having multiple championships. But again, this is, I call it, the other side of the money game. You're making so much money, win or lose, it don't even really matter because they're making so much money.
That's the thing. That's why there's no motivation to win.
And you see it on the field.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the Yankees. Now, they lost 5 series in June, between June and July. right?
Hilarious, really.
Lost to the Jays, the Reds, the Tigers got swept by the last place Red Sox, and
Yeah.
lost to the Twins, who they used to beat on the regular.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So the Rays are in first place as a result of this. And the talking heads keep saying, "Oh, well, the Yankees are a strong playoff contender."
These guys are delusional.
I'm telling you, but the thing is, every time Judge goes down, the whole team goes down.
Of course.
They can't hit, they can't field, they can't pitch. So now on top of granted, on top of Judge being down, Rodon just went down. Freed is out. Stanton, who knows when he's coming back. And Jazz had a toe injury. He was day to day. So, and it's just crazy. Like, take the first game they played against the Rays. They had only 3 hits in the whole game, albeit they were 3 home runs, and that's how they won the game because Schlittler held it down for them. But that was it. So, but it looks to me like it's going to be a 2-race team at this point between the Rays and the Yankees.
You think so?
The Jays are 11.5 back at this point, going into we're coming up on the All-Star break. So unless they make a hell of a run, which is possible, but it's just crazy right now with them. Now, the Mets, they unceremoniously fired their manager Carlos Mendoza because they're saying he's the problem. He won. It's like
they're paying too much money not to be winning now. Somebody got to go.
Exactly, and so he was a scapegoat because it's like you've always said. If you want me to win, you gotta let me buy the groceries. And Stearns, he let Alonso walk, right? He let Edwin Diaz walk, their number 1 closer. He got rid of Nimmo and McNeil. These guys were like the lifeblood of the team, and they had that leadership in the locker room.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it just seemed. You see, there's a lot of shenanigans that go on, and so people really don't really understand the chemistry that goes on to create winning. The last thing the Mets needed to do, especially how they were moving the last 3-4 years, they needed to do everything they could do to keep that team together.
Yeah.
Because they finally had the secret sauce, the secret seasoning. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so these guys who make these decisions, some who've never played or don't know they don't know the game. They don't know what it takes to win and create chemistry, to create winning. It's chemistry that creates winning. And so they figure, well, I'll just swap this guy out for this guy and this guy out for that guy and this guy out for that guy. And you mess up the whole chemistry. Now you're back in a rebuild. I will say this, Joe. A lot of times that's done on purpose so people can keep their job.
Well,
Because
speaking
you
of
think
that,
about it, go ahead.
Steve Cohen basically painted himself into a corner because he waited for 2 years to hire David Stearns. And he was waiting for his contract to run out with Milwaukee. And since Stearns left, Milwaukee hasn't skipped a beat. Meanwhile, this team is in ruins.
Well, you do things because you want to hook up your boy, but it may not be the best thing because the bottom line, people keep forgetting. But the money, again, Joe, in these contracts are so large that to get a real commitment to win. There's just so much money. People are like, well, we don't win. Some people do things, blow up teams to start a rebuild so they can get to retirement or they can get another 4 years making crazy money on a rebuild. Because everybody knows if you're on a rebuild, the expectation of winning is lower.
Exactly.
Right? So, but you're still collecting a full check, right? You start thinking about franchises. Think about the Detroit Lions. They had Barry Sanders, couldn't figure out how to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
They had Megatron, couldn't figure out how to. You see what I'm saying? But who kept making money? The owners, the coaches, right? So there's a lot. As you always know, I always say there's always the bottom 15.
Yep. Yes, you said that. So.
They're really not interested in winning.
Anyway.
They're just interesting. As long as the machine's running and the goose is laying the egg, they don't care. Then they'll put a face up like they care. Oh, well, this is our job. We've done great research and we did it.
Well, we'll have to leave it at that.
Already, Joe?
And
Oh, man. Before we go, got to send out some love to U.S. Our fans in the U.S. are growing and growing and growing and growing. Our fans in Canada, I got to get to Canada soon. Our fans in France, man, I pray for y'all over there because it's hot right now in Europe. But we thank you. Keep supporting us as we keep supporting you. We got a lot of great things continuing to come, and we're doing and growing, and we couldn't do it without any of you. So as we always say, Joe,
stay in the game.
Stay in the game, folks. Smarterfan podcast. See you next week.
All right. Good night.
Good night now.
Smarterfan.